What the fuck? Huh?
Started with not having anything to wear. I mean, I had affirmatively, because I'm always prepared. So I was like, if I'm not going to do this thing, I gotta tell my team, I don't even want to have a dress ready, right? Because it's so easy to just say, let me do the right thing. We don't articulate as Black women our pain because it's almost like nobody ever gave us permission to do that.
Permission? She charges a speaking fee. She's rich as fuck, and she has a team that picks out her outfits for her. How is life that hard? I'm sure she's about to explain.
But then this is what makes it hard because, my decision to skip the inauguration, what people don't realize, or my decision to make choices at the beginning of this year that suited me were met with such ridicule and criticism. Like, people couldn't believe that I was saying no for any other reason, that they had to assume that my marriage was falling apart.
Oh, geez. All I heard was me, poor me, blah, blah, blah. When that's just masking her contempt for her husband being a Black man in America that you can't really call a loser or treat like one. Her reaction is going to be a very feminist one anyway. But I'm not too sympathetic toward first world problems because, and especially with her complaining, because if it wasn't for her husband, we have a way that we feel about Barack Obama at this point. I do understand that, but you can't argue with the fact that if it wasn't for her husband, nobody would give a fuck who Michelle Obama was, or ever will be. Like, I'm just saying, you can get mad all you want, but it's the truth. I mean, she's sitting up here talking about, oh, well, now people think I'm getting a divorce. Like, my marriage is in trouble. Yes, when your husband is the first Black president and you don't appear publicly with him to support him, people are going to speculate. And I'm saying that for the I wish people would mind their own business folks out there, who would say that. Some of which will say that while watching this video, that we should just mind our own business because public figures are making things public again. But this is not a good look at all for a couple who basically from 2008 to 2016 made sure that every Black household had their family pictures in their house and on their wall. A Black man with a Black woman for a wife and 2 Black daughters. Yeah, he is running a matriarch. And let me just throw this out here, especially with me being a dad with a daughter. If Barack Obama had 2 sons instead of 2 daughters, his marks probably would not have been as high when he first came into the spotlight as they are. We have an extremely matriarchal community here in Black America. And it is very apparent when you look at all forms of media every day. And the attitude of women like the former First Lady, Michelle Obama, is very reflective of that. And it's a goddamn shame. I will say this. This is why your average young modern day Black man does not want to marry these women, because they keep seeing ones like, Jada Pinkett Smith or Nicole Ari Parker or Michelle Obama. Plus, you got to remember, the Obamas are for advocates for other groups of people. When I say other groups of people, I mean other groups besides Black people. Always gaslighting us and acting like they can't do anything for us, but use other groups like the alphabet community and the trans community to virtue signal. So that's why I tell people, don't expect too much from the Obamas, especially during Barack Obama's presidency, where he really didn't do anything for you specifically as a Black person, but jumped on the sword for every other group of people, including gay people. And there are those rumors of Big Mike. But, we're not going to go there completely. I'm just going to say that's a rumor and that's neither here nor there. But it is kind of hilarious. What I'm saying is this. I don't think there's young Black men sitting up there in this day and age uplifting Michelle Obama as the perfect example of what a Black wife should be. Being the first Black First Lady ever to the first Black president. You know, and just ask around a little bit if a young black man wants a wife to be just like Michelle Obama, maybe with the level of success, but seriously, I mean, the Obamas would have had success without the presidency, but nobody would have given a fuck who they are. But, you know, ask a young black man, did they want a wife to be just like Michelle Obama? I mean, you probably wouldn't care anyway. You probably start saying, ooh, self-hate, misogyny, ooh. And my suggestion to those people is to stop being grown-ass children and try to see things from a more realistic perspective. Sorry, you don't get your little symbolism here. Yeah, and that line that she was talking about, no one gives black women permission to articulate their pain. It's like, when do black women ever need permission to speak? I mean, shit, sometimes they just speak unsolicited. Because what she's trying to do is conflate the whole we need permission to speak with the I wish these bitches would just shut up, you know, with their funky attitudes. But the underlying problem with all of this is I believe that Michelle Obama realizes the truth that she is an American black woman that would be absolutely nothing without her black man. And for black women in America who express their disdain for black men on a constant basis, that is a sick burn.
Who's this man?
Yep, reality is setting in. She's not that famous anymore. And in many ways, she wants to blame her husband because he was a little bit too famous. But it's not like Michelle Obama is ever going to listen to this video. But I want her to let her know, don't worry, we dislike both you and your husband equally. Okay, let me know what you think in the comments. Am I just some asshole that should mind his own business, or did I make some points? Thank you once again. Long live the habitual line steppers.
Black men, there's a lot of misogyny.